Void versus voidable. Ready? Nice and simple. Let me clear it up. Before I do, I want to talk about contracts. Because void and voidable involves contracts, and you got to know what contracts are all about. Let me make it simple. Let me make it crystal clear. Contracts. There's a few elements that involve a contract. Number one, the parties have to be competent. They have to be of legal capacity. Whoa, a fancy word, legal capacity. What the hell does that mean, legal capacity? We're talking about legal age, and we're talking about mental capacity. Number two, there has to be an offer. Somebody has to make an offer. That's easy. Number three, somebody has to accept the offer. There has to be acceptance. Number four, this contract, here it comes, this contract has to be legal. Any illegal activity of a contract, forget about it. It ain't gonna happen. Bada bing, bada boom, throw it in the trash because it doesn't work in the court of law. Now the last factor in a contract would be consideration. Now what the hell is consideration? I want you to pay special attention to this because that term, consideration, I guarantee you're gonna see it again on your state exam. Now consideration is what you're willing to give for something in return. You make an offer on a house. You're willing to give them money. That money is consideration. Now, does it always have to be money? It doesn't always have to be money. Sometimes you want to trade somebody house for house. A huge mansion up in the mountains, far from the city, for a small condo here in the beachside. And you find somebody who's willing to swap you. House for house. Now, sure, mansion for tiny condo, but location, location, location. Point here is this. Consideration doesn't have to be money. It can be property. I'll give you this for that. It doesn't always have to be money. But again, let's get realistic here. Typically, in your real estate career, it's going to be money. I'll give you money, you give me your house, all right? Those are the elements to a contract. Now let's talk about void versus voidable. What makes a contract void? What makes a contract voidable? Now, number one question is, do contracts have to be in writing? Oh, what a good question. You might see that question soon. Do contracts have to be in writing? Now, the answer to that is no, they don't, but they typically are. We typically want contracts in writing so that we're clear of every single stipulation in the contract. We don't want any misunderstanding. We don't want, well, I thought you meant this. Baloney. Whatever's in the contract is what I meant. You signed it, I signed it. It's a valid contract, legally binding, hopefully, if all elements are met, and you're good to go. Now, what makes a contract void? Void means you can't do it. You can't do it. It's unenforceable. You can't because it's illegal. One of the contract elements have not been met, or it was illegal activity. An example would be illegal gambling, doing something that is against the law. Going into a contract that you know darn well the courts won't allow you to do. Let me give you an example. You find a house, you love it, and you personally know the owner of this house. You've known him since you were a kid. You know his backstory. You know he's, or she is, I don't know, a drug addict. And you say, listen, in exchange for your house, I'm willing to give you this amount of drugs. Wow, sounds like a pretty even exchange, a house for drugs. But that's not legal. It's against the court of law. That contract is definitely what? Yeah, void. Another example would be you make a bet with a loan shark, the local loan shark, an underground bet, under the table bet, $20,000 that the Jets are gonna beat, I don't know, the Rams this weekend. And you lose the bet. And the loan shark comes after you and says, where's my money? And you don't have the money. Of course you don't have the money. $20,000. You don't want to pay up. You lost the bet. So he wants to take you to court. How the hell is he going to take you to court? You guys just made an illegal bet. Gambling. Illegal gambling doesn't work. That contract, void. No bueno. Let's go to voidable. So what makes a contract voidable? We're understood that void means should have never happened. Voidable is a whole different ballgame. Voidable is nice because voidable, there's an option. Voidable, there's an option. It exists. Both parties led into this contract. Both parties agreed to this contract. Nothing illegal about it, but it gives one of the parties an opportunity to say, you know what? I don't think I want to be in this contract. Or do I? Wow, what a situation. They have an option to bail out. A nice, plain, simple, fun example. I go out to breakfast with my wife at Denny's. And I ask the waiter who comes in, I say, hey, listen, I'd like to order ham and eggs. Sunny side up, my favorite. I love that runny yolk. Ham and eggs. I'm willing to offer you $10, and you're in exchange, you're gonna give me my ham and eggs. A nice, simple contract. He puts my order in, comes back 10 minutes later, and brings me a nice hot plate with steak and eggs. I don't want steak, I wanted ham. Now we had a contract. You were supposed to bring me ham and eggs, and you brought me steak and eggs. Wait a minute, I can void this contract. That's not what I asked for. Or I can say, wait a minute. I kind of like steak and eggs. This actually looks appealing to me. In fact, you know what? I'd rather have this. Let's keep this contract intact. You with me? Now, this contract to me is not voidable. I can void it if I want to, or I can keep it alive. I can keep it valid. I have the option. I am the party who says, you didn't bring me what I wanted, but you know what? I like it. I have the ability to void it, or I have the ability to keep it valid. That's voidable. Another example, a real estate example. I make an offer on a house, $1 million. House right here in Santa Monica. Beautiful house, and it has a converted garage. The garage has been converted into living quarters, into a bedroom. Looks beautiful. I like it, and I want it to be kept that way. I make a contract with the owner. I said, owner, I'll give you $1 million. I like the house just the way it is. Don't touch it. I'm gonna do my final walkthrough. My last opportunity to see this house, to make sure it's in the same condition I first saw it. And I can't help but notice that that garage that I loved, that was converted into a nice bedroom, has been reconverted back to a garage. They took away the bathroom in there. They took away the little kitchenette that was in there. They made that beautiful little bedroom back into your standard garage. That wasn't what we agreed to. Now I have the ability and the option to void the contract, to make it go away because it's not what we agreed to. Or I can say, wow, it actually looks better as a garage than it does as a bedroom. You know what? I'll keep it that way. I still want to buy the house. You see how simple that was? You see how simple that, although they went against the contract, I chose to move forward. Voidable. I have the option to kill the deal or move on. When you have an option, it's voidable. When it's illegal activity, it's void. Simple as that. Hope this helps you out. Void versus voidable. Let's make it crystal clear. Void, it's against the law, should have never happened. Voidable, it's okay, it happened. And you have the right to cancel it. You have the right to make it void if you want to. One last thing, don't forget, the first week of every month, we have free intro classes. A real estate career could do you good. Take a look at it. Go to our website, www.carealtytraining.com. Listen, take care of yourself. We hope to see you next week.